Okay, and I think that is it. Hi, everyone. I hope you guys are doing good. It is Tuesday at 5 p.m. So we're here as we always are. I hope you guys are safe. COVID is still out, still about, still kicking and taking names. So I want you guys to be super careful. If you're tuning in and you've been to Immerse recently, you know that we've really cracked down on mask wearing and cleaning surfaces and social distancing. So we are back to doing that, which is a great segue into my first announcement of tonight because it is related to COVID. I'm not seeing that we have anyone that has joined us yet. So I am going to wait until we've got a little more of an audience, because I want you guys all to hear this. It's important. A way for you guys to be safe during COVID and get a $20 to $5 gift card wherever you want and get put in to a drawing to win a flat screen TV. So a lot of really good stuff there. So I'll give you guys a moment to log on. I'm also going to individually send out the link. So y'all give me just a sec and I'm going to be on it. Hi, Glenda. How's it going? If you guys are tuned in, give me an update about how you're doing. All right, I just sent the link out to like 12 people. So hopefully it will get our numbers up here in just a sec. We've got 3 now, that's good. One of them's me. So, okay, yeah, hey Glenda, hey Sierra. Yay, baby gets to go home tomorrow for Glenda. That is some great news. MJ's been in the NICU, so that is very awesome news. And fun fact about that is my sister got to be the nurse in there for a little while. So she got to meet MJ, which I love. But yeah, so important announcement, which I'm probably going to make more than once tonight because I really want you guys to know this. We want people to get vaccinated. We think it's a safe, good way to help the spread of COVID go down and to keep us all individually safe. And so we have moved to a point where we are incentivizing it. Anyone who is able to show us proof that they got the vaccine, so your vaccine card, if you just send a picture and show us your vaccine card, you are automatically going to get a $25 gift card to wherever you want it to be. And you're also going to get your name entered into a drawing for a TV. So you get 2 of those things just by sending someone a picture of your COVID card. You can send it to me if you want. You can send it to your coach. You can send it via DM on Facebook. You can send it on the website. It does not matter as long as we see it. We're going to give you a $25 gift card to wherever you want and put your name in a drawing for a TV. So that is a huge thing that we've got going on right now. Just wanting to keep people safe. And that is my only announcement. So again, tonight we've got Lindsay with us, which we love, and we'll be continuing on with our series on emotions and how they can help us. Maybe sometimes what can be not super helpful when we're feeling really emotional or not. So let's tune in, and I'm looking forward to good questions that you guys might have after she's finished giving us this. So Lindsay, I'll pass the torch.
Thank you, Casey. All right, so I want to talk to you guys tonight about life transitions. So if we can just, for those of you who have joined us live, if you can just pop in the chat and talk about a major life transition or change, like having a baby. Maybe it's getting a new job, maybe it's a new place, maybe it's changing your work environment because your really cool OC opened up and you get to have like a change of just like your workspace. But if you guys can just pop in the chat and let me know like what recent life change, and then after that, give me 3 feelings associated with that change.
All right, I got one. I don't know. This isn't super recent, but it's probably one of the biggest transitions I've ever went through, which was living with family to living in a house that's like actually kind of mine. I do have 2 roommates, so but that's a pretty big transition. It is really amazing. I love being here. There is so much freedom, there's power, but there's responsibility, which can be kind of annoying, and you got to keep it clean and you got to keep food in the fridge. So, you know, these are things that I'd had experience with in college. And even when I was living with family, I, you know, pretty much bought my own food and cooked my own food, and cleaned. But it was even more so whenever I moved into my own place. So that was a pretty big change. So you said 3 words that come to mind, right?
3 feelings or emotions that come to mind, yeah.
Feelings. Okay, so I would say pride is one.
Okay.
Anxiety is another, because now that it's like your house, you pay the bills, you get maintenance out there, it's on you. Like, it's stuff you got to take care of, and it's the environment that you live in. So so I would say anxiety is a feeling, pride is a feeling, and also I guess like satisfaction or relief, because I feel very thankful and very blessed to be able to have housing in my name, that I'm able to, you know, sustain on my own, also with the help of 2 other people. So yeah, those are my 3 feelings associated with that big transition.
Awesome. Do we have anything in the chat?
We don't yet. Let's throw it out there again. So guys, of you that are watching, Glenda and Sierra, what are some so think of a transition that you've had in your life, where there was like a big change, and then 3 emotions or feelings that are associated with that change. So looking at Glenda and Sierra here, if you guys have anything.
Well, the reason why I bring this up, I think, you know, anytime that you get like any exciting thing that happens in your life, this is really what I get to the core of tonight, is anything that exciting happens, you get a new job, you move into a new place, you extend your family, you're in a new relationship. There's, as exciting as that is, people don't always take the time necessary to grieve what they're actually losing as part of that transition. So in case of the example that you gave, you probably lost some time with your family. You lost kind of like that security of being home and knowing that everything was going to be handled no matter what. And it's kind of scary going out and being, independent and everything's on you. So with big transitions, and by the way, tonight there's not a presentation. I just wanted to kind of guide you through some tips as you're walking through big transitions in life, what you can expect. And then also, if everyone's around you, it's like, congratulations, that's so exciting. And you feel sort of like anxious about it or scared or you're crying or you're sad, even though something amazing is happening in your life, I want you all to know that that's totally normal. And what people often forget is that you're actually giving up something else to take on this new change in your life.
Yeah, I think that's so good. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, so Sierra says no recent big changes, but she did say the biggest change is living alone. So I think she's kind of in my boat too. Although Sierra, I mean, is kind of a step ahead of me. She has like her own place. I think she's the only person that lives there, and I again have two people here with me. But yeah, I think that's a really good point, Lindsay, when you're talking about gut reaction is like, oh, if someone says they got a new job or they're having a baby, it's like, oh, congratulations. But we don't always think about the other feelings associated with that. I will never forget the time that someone told me they were pregnant. And I was about to say like, oh, I'm happy for you. Congratulations. And before I could even say anything, she said, and don't act happy because I'm not. Because she was really stressed. She was really, stressed about bringing a new life into the world for a lot of reasons. So you just never know when, something might appear really good to you and it might actually be a good thing for them, but they're going to have other feelings associated with that too. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. And so I was actually talking to a young woman, and she's recently moved from Louisiana to Arkansas, back to Arkansas, and she's moved in with her aunt and her brother. And she moved out of Louisiana because she's pursuing her dental hygienist, like her certificate to be a dental assistant. And so she's think about this, like, she's also getting away from some pretty toxic friends in her life, people that she thought were friends, but turned out not to be very supportive. And so she's moved to Arkansas. She's got a new job. She's back in school. She's making great grades. She's in a stable environment. She's living with family again that she hasn't seen in a long time. And she is stressed out. So even with the friends that started to become sort of like a toxic relationship in her life, she's grieving. She's grieving because she's thinking about the missed opportunities that she would have had with her friends. Like, she's thinking about, all the time they would have spent together, or the time that she would want to call them to let her know what's going on in her life. Maybe they spend holidays together, gone on trips together, or just hanging out. Like, you in your mind to sever a relationship, even if it's the right thing to do, can be extremely tough. And the same thing with her going back to school and getting pretty much a full-time job. All of that time that she was spent sort of doing what she wanted when she wanted, being a young woman, she's had to give that up. She's happy she's doing it and she wants to do it, but there's still just some grieving that she's going through of, I don't have time to, do this anymore. I don't have time to do what I want anymore. And I've got, bills to pay, and now I'm paying for school. So a lot of people, we're all very excited for her. But I just wanted to talk about, sometimes in life when you're going through these transitions, it's really important that you take time to also grieve, and then also understand that in the transition, it's not a flip of a switch. So she's moved to Arkansas. She's had to find a new job. She's had to adjust. And she has to be very realistic with her expectations of what that's going to be. You know, she can't be like, oh, it's going to be great. Sometimes it's going to be great. And sometimes it's going to feel like you made the worst decision ever. So I think just being realistic with yourself is super important. And Josh is another great example of this. You know, he recently got his dream job, and he gets to live in Phoenix, and he's always wanted to live in Phoenix. He loves it over there. But there's loss too. Like, he has to give up his team that he's built relationships with, his coworkers. You know, he was in the middle of projects and he's got to sort of hand those off, and that's hard. And then also Arkansas, you know, there's places, you know, we've got our favorite restaurant here in Little Rock, and you know, our friends here in town. And so, as exciting as it is, and everyone's like, congratulations, this is amazing, and it is, it's also really tough. And if he doesn't take time to process that and to acknowledge that, then what will happen is he will actually become bitter and resentful about his new job. Even though it's this amazing thing, he'll be like, I hate this, it's so stressful, I wish I never did it. So, you know, I just wanted to ask you guys if you've ever experienced anything like that.
Hey, we got some chat action. I'm gonna shoot the gap. So Glenda says, so Glenda got a job. I think I've said that before, which is super exciting. And her transition is going to be going from being unemployed to being employed. And that is a huge transition. That's one of the bigger ones in life. So yeah, that is a big change for sure. And Sierra says she's looking for a job. Sierra, I'm going to text you after this because I know of a place that's hiring that's very close by to where you live. So I'm gonna text you that information. So yeah, we got people popping in with their transitions and their big changes.
Okay, so some tips for dealing with your transition. So we've talked about this a little bit, but first of all, you want to prepare. So think about like the logistics, right? Okay, so some of them are super obvious, like moving across the country. You've got to get, you know, out of your housing and find new housing and move all your things. But there's also other things too, like you know, the girls have they go to mixed martial arts. But we got to find a new gym, or we got to find a new school, or we got, you know, all these other things that logistically you have to plan for, so that when we get there, it's not like we've got to do all these things. We, you know, can plan for that ahead, so it's a little bit smoother of a transition, and you have time to sort of prepare for those changes that will happen. We talked about reasonable expectations, and I think the crux here is that during exciting things that happen in life, we all tell ourselves like, it's going to be amazing, it's going to be a breeze, it's going to be awesome, and then things happen that are not so awesome or not so easy. And so also setting just some like really you know, basic expectations for, okay, like if I get a new job, I might have a new coworker that I don't get along with, or there might be times when I feel really embarrassed because I don't know how to do something, or you know, I don't know where everything is and I did the wrong thing. That doesn't make your job any less amazing. It just means there are things that are going to happen, and that you just try to plan for it as much as you can, but also have real expectations that things happen. The other thing with big life transitions that really helps is to set a routine as quickly as possible. Whether you've moved into a new place, you have a new job, like whatever it is, try to establish a routine as quickly as you can. So when you move into a new house, you're going to find your grocery store, you're going to get your daily like wake up routine, nighttime routine. You know, maybe you go to the grocery store on these nights or on this day, and you kind of like set up your routine, and that sort of like normalizes things. Because what happens when we get really stressed out is we're actually seeking stability. And a routine is a really great way to just stabilize everything. And you can always change it later, right? Like you can always change up your routine later and figure out what's working for you. But anytime you make a big transition, try to come up with like a daily routine or a daily ritual that you can follow for a while until you sort of like you've made it through the transition phase. And also it's important to check your self-talk. This is super important when you've started a new job or you've moved into a new place. I think it's really tempting to tell ourselves like, I knew I could handle this. This is just too much, or I just need to go back to how things were. Make sure you have someone that you can talk to, and again, be realistic, but just watch your negative talk. We're all gonna, like I said, we're all gonna make mistakes in a new job, and there are gonna be things that we don't think about when we have a big move, or going back to school might be a bigger commitment than we think in the beginning. But just watch your self-talk so you're not telling yourself that you are a failure. And maybe ultimately the decision is now is not the right time. But I would encourage you to try to push through those negative emotions that will likely come up in the very beginning when things get hard. It's also really important to stay connected, that you have a really good support system. So even though, moving across the country, we still are going to have like a really strong support system of people that we'll talk to, that we can sort of like go back to our comfort zone when things get hard. And moving into a new place, if you moved away out, from your roommates, sometimes it's good to have a clean break, but sometimes it's nice to like meet up with your roommates if you're now living by yourself, or meet up with your family, once a month, just to kind of like check in and work through, that transition period. I think it's also really important to practice self-care or self-compassion. If you can't talk to someone right now, and hopefully all of you have someone, a coach, a friend, someone that you can lean on. But if you can't, if you're having a stressful moment, I would encourage you to think about, if your friend was going through this situation, what advice would you give them? And then that will help kind of like frame everything up for you. And that might even help you kind of like get through that really stressful moment, and then still talk to someone and work through that, but also framing, taking it like away from you as a person. So it's not happening to you. If my best friend got a new job and she was having a really hard time, what might I say to her? How might I encourage her? What would help her? So just take your own advice as if you were giving it to someone else. Casey, did you have any other tips or anything else that's helped you through your big transitions in life?
You have definitely touched on the big stuff. For me, I would say what really helps me, and this is kind of dating back to like the way that I was raised. God bless my parents, I love them, but I was not raised in an environment where transition and change was really accepted or anticipated. So the biggest thing for me when I go through change or transitions is like, this is normal. Like, this happens, other people experience this, it's okay, you're gonna be all right. Because I didn't really, for the longest time, I didn't know that. And I thought that when things changed, when transitions happened, it was because something was off balance and someone did something wrong. So for me, what helps keep me grounded and sane is like, okay, transitions happen, they are normal, and you are able to get through it as long as you know who your people are that are going to be in your corner. So support system too is probably the other biggest thing. So just having that sense of normalcy really helps me, and knowing who the people in my corner are. If anyone watching feels like they don't have a sense of normalcy or they don't have people in their corner, I want you to talk to me and to Lindsay, because we would love to help you with that, and help you figure out that network of support of people that you've got who are going to help you along the way. So that's my 2 cents, but you really touched on everything, Lindsay.
Awesome.
Pretty amazing. I'm gonna peek over at the chat and see nothing pertaining to the class per se. I see we've got 4 people. Oh, it's Regina, Sierra, and Glinda. Perfect. Okay, cool. Because I like to know, I can see how many people are on. I can't see who most of the time. So that's why I sometimes check in and say, if you're here, say hey, because I want to know who you are. But that's all on my end. For those of you that are just now joining, I want to say one more time that if you have gotten the COVID vaccine, please send a picture of it to anyone at Immerse. It can be me, that would be great. It can be someone else, it really doesn't matter. Because if you have gotten the vaccine, we're going to give you a $25 gift card to wherever you want. And we're also going to be putting your name in a drawing for a brand new flat screen TV. So you don't want to miss out on that. So just remember, COVID vaccine equals TB and $25. So just something to keep in mind. Lindsay, was there anything else? I'll keep you posted on the chat if I see any activity.
No, that's it. Yeah, I just wanted to touch base with you guys. I know it's a pretty exciting time for a lot of you young adults. It's like probably the most, like you won't experience as much change more than like this time in your life when you're sort of like expected to like take care of yourself and maybe, take care of other humans too. And maybe you're moving around in different places and getting jobs. I mean, this is a huge and exciting time. And it's totally normal to feel anxious and scared, and also to grieve down some time that you lost, or having extra cash on hand, all of those time with friends, all of those things, totally normal and expected. And I know that Casey and all the coaches and everyone at Merce and me are all very proud of you, because I know you all are doing the very best that you can. And you've got an amazing support system with Merce.
Yeah, this is an invitation for me to get on my soapbox again, which is that resiliency is the most important quality you can have, and you all have it already. So learning how to strengthen that is so important. And I just want you guys to know how capable you are of doing things. I've seen it time and time again where people think they got no idea what's going on, when really you do. You just might need a little person here and there to help you figure it out. That's normal. We all need that from time to time. So last call before we wrap up, those of you in the chat, any questions about transitions and big life changes, or any comments about them? Maybe you guys have some tips about what helps you whenever you're going through a big change. Maybe you're going through a big change yourself and you need some tips on how to handle it. We're here for that. I'm not seeing anything right now. And so next week, I'll go ahead and make this little announcement. Lindsay and Josh won't be with us next week, unfortunately, but that is all right. We will live, we will make do. If you guys have ideas for what you might want to talk about next week, let me know. Because I will probably be the one hopping in and doing it next week, which is kind of cool. I haven't been able to lead a life skills in a while, which has been a blessing, but it'll be fun to get to do that. So you guys definitely let me know what you want to talk about, because I'm all ears. We do have a comment about transitions and changes. Sierra says they're scary, which is so true. But remember, it's normal to be scared. It's normal for those transitions to kind of loom over you and you to feel uncertain. That's normal feelings. But just identify who the people in your corner are, such as myself. And probably some other Merce people. Sierra, I know for you, my sister is in your corner for sure. You're not alone in it. And that is all I have to say about that, I'm pretty sure. Before we wrap up, Lindsay, did you want to add anything?
That's it, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and get vaccinated if you haven't already.
Cool. Yeah, vaccine. Yeah, there's a lot of information going around about the vaccine. Some of it's true, some of it's not. So if you need some help figuring out what's right and what's wrong, we can kind of get you going in that area. We'll lead you down the path of what the medical experts are saying. So yeah, I think that'll be it for tonight. Lindsay, again, thank you so much for being here as usual. Such big fans. Looking forward to not next week, but the next when you'll be back. Y'all are stuck with me next week. Deal with it. And on that note, I'll go ahead and close this out. Everybody stay safe. And you know where to find us if you need anything. Bye, everyone.